Yo, brother, good evening. As you're watching this today, right now, you probably have something in your mind. You probably have some, like, not the things that you're confused with your life. You don't know what to do with your life. Or maybe even that you are struggling with certain thing in your life, maybe relationships, maybe you're struggling with your bad habits, finding love, struggling with some inner voices inside your head. I'm gonna tell you this one habit, which is journaling. Like you already read it from the title, or whatever. This journaling, this one habit, bro. I can't stress this enough. Okay, this has like single-handedly helped me to get rid of my negative thoughts. When I was on like no fap, I was getting all this negative thought of like getting the urge to fap, and then I was always fucking it up. I was relapsing. I fapped a lot, okay, because it felt good. It felt good. I just like any other teenager out there. I like a lot of times. Okay, it's weird. I know because I'm talking about this. Nobody actually really opens up and talk about this, but I'm like talking about this. Okay, I just want to share this like secret knowledge with you because yeah, journaling is actually what got me here. You know, there was this one summer in July 2023, to be specific, where I was journaling about how I have transformed as a person from 1 year. So I'm like on my bed with the diary. I usually journal, right? And this is the single best thing that I've ever did. I'm so grateful for that. And I'm gonna tell you this one thing that you can like practically apply later on. So here was me on my bed. I was journaling, okay? Like I was writing actually about what do you say? What do you say? Like an audit of how I became as a person. So I was writing about in one column how I was before and how I am now. And to be honest, the most like interesting the plot twist about this was that I was writing all the things, listing all the things how I was before. Like I used to play a lot of video game. I used to jerk off a lot of time. I used to be scared of, starting a conversation and all of that. I used to be not so social. And then how I am now. That's the plot twist. What I've written was something that I'm not even here just yet. I was in that room. I've just like jerked off, did my bad habits, played video games also, just very recently. And I've just written down there as if I have quit all of those. I've written down there, yeah, I have quit video games. I am the most strongest version of myself. I have quit like watching porn and jerking off. It's amazing, right? Because that was what I wanted. And slowly, through that was the period of my life. You can check like my previous videos on YouTube. That was the period of my life where I was going through this self-mastery phase of my life where I was trying to conquer my little brother down there. Okay, my class teacher, like not my class teacher, my subject teacher, physical education teacher, like to call it little brother. He used to ask questions like, can you control your little brother, like just for fun. And I wouldn't mention his name, of course, just for some privacy, because it's weird. No teacher talks about like sexual stuff, sex education, and all of that. It's not so normalized, but he's one of the only guys in our school as a teacher who talks like so openly about all of those weird, like dirty, taboo, like all of this weird stuff that nobody talks about, right? Just for the betterment of the students, just for educational purpose. So it's like I was in that period trying to control my dick, and constantly I was journaling about how I would improve, how would I improve. And every time I fucked up, I just wrote down like, yeah, why did I did that? Yeah, it was because I was checking too much Instagram. It was because I was on YouTube trying to post a video, but then I came across this one video at the homepage, which led me to watch it and binge YouTube for some couple of minutes. And that was all fine, but then I went to Instagram because, I'm already fucking up my focus anyway, so it kind of fuck up with my dopamine levels. I was getting too excited, and then when I went away from YouTube, I was getting too bored again because I already have my dopamine receptors fucked up, so I wasn't feeling like normal pleasure as a normal human being would with normal daily activities like eating food, just being alone, or even being like with my works. I wasn't getting pleasure in any of that. My brain predicted that. So, I went to Instagram. I just wrote every single detail down. I went to Instagram, I went to explore page, and then I clicked on that, and then I started scrolling down until I found some gym girls, and then suddenly I got the urge to check on like some fucking AI animation influencers or something just to get my dick hard. And then I thought of just jerking off a little bit, but then I ended up relapsing again. And I don't want you to be on NoFap, okay? I'm just giving you an example of how it helped me, how this habit of journaling helped me on NoFap, and which I really want you to understand the significance of journaling itself, because this will help you in everywhere you go. Like right now, I'm starting like my pursuit on business even more, just because I need to make money, even to like post videos online, just because I've not monetized my video just yet. It's like I always want to come and teach you, bro, but okay, I don't want to sound like I don't want to like manipulate you by making you empathize with me or some shit, but like generally I don't have like enough money to buy that data that is required to post videos online, no matter even if I feel like I want to teach you so much, right? Because I could come up, record every day, post, but I have to like set a certain limit to that because I don't have the money to do so, which is why I'm doing this business called growth operating right now. And I hope that it doesn't get saturated because I posted on this video and I mentioned about that. No, I'm just kidding. This will probably get just like a few views, if not probably like around 100. It doesn't really matter. I don't even check the views, right? I just make sure this gets posted and that it is actually public to everyone. And so when I'm on this business model, I'm like realizing how important journaling is, because the world is chaotic. The world is chaotic. Information is I always mention this, right? The world is chaotic. Information is everywhere. You need to set like a order, structured way to look at things. I know this will not so much make sense to you right now, but once you start journaling, you will get the idea of wow, why you are doing it. Because when you're not journaling, you don't even know why journaling is important. But once you start journaling and then you see the benefits of it after some few time, then you realize, damn, I'm glad I journaled it, because it clears your fucking thought. Like literally, it clears your thought. Like even when I was recovering from a breakup moment, bro, it cleared my fucking thought, because I was still thinking that yeah, maybe I love her, maybe we were good, but then like rationally it wasn't like a perfect relationship, right? Okay, maybe not perfect relationship, that's not the right word, but I thought we would work, right? But genuinely it would not have. And I had to journal that down and overcome my emotion and use more of like the rational side of my brain to decide upon stuff, to whether to go back with her or not. And I decided not to, because like, bro, literally I wouldn't go too much private stuff, but basically it's just like I wouldn't be wanting to be with someone who wanted to break up with me. So it's just like I journaled about that. I decided like, yeah, it's just my emotions. It's just normal for me to have this emotion like going back to her when I'm in this phase of recovering from breakup. And so I had to literally like use my rational brain instead of my emotional brain. And this is what I want you to do, because every single time in this modern era, majority of the people are living in terms of their emotions. They are like waver through their emotions, just because of how mindless we have become. Emotions are normal. I'm not saying that being emotionless is the way to go, because it's so cool. You may be thinking now that like, yo, how do we actually start journaling? It's not like how do we actually start journaling. You write notes from your teacher, don't you? You write questions from your teachers at school for a particular subject, don't you? It's the same thing. Start writing questions about your life. What is your problems? What is all the, because this applies to everywhere. I'm starting this business. I'm starting to realize how important journaling is. I'm starting to realize that journaling is the way, because like while you are being emotional, which is like kind of normal because humans are to be like having emotions, and then of course it is also way better to be more disciplined and trying to control our emotions through like practice of introspection, emotional introspection, through journaling. And I don't want to make this video too long, like not even like a video about guide to journal, because I've already covered that somewhere in the past. I'm just gonna have this like a iCard, video card pop up here so that you can watch that. But basically, what this is just writing questions, being like a mad scientist. Okay, and this is the part where I've never seen anyone talk about online. You need to become like a fucking mad scientist. Okay, maybe Dan Cole has talked about this, and it was really epiphanizing even for me, because like, yeah, yo, what are we if not scientists? You may think that like, yeah, scientists are those old men with gray hair and all of that, old fellows with hunch over neck and then doing some research and stuff in their laboratory. No. By definition, scientist is the person that solves problem. I don't know the exact definition, but it's just, what do? They solve problem. And researching is just the process of them doing it. But at the very core fundamental principle, being a scientist is just being able to solve problem, being the guy, being the scientist that solves problem. Scientist is just a fancy name for a person who solves problem. How do you solve problem in your life? Because we all have one. The problem with your business, the problem with studying, the problem with you jerking off your little brother. I love this, man. Little brother. Your little brother down there. Okay. The problem, like, it's everywhere, from your table to your work, to your sleep, to your fitness, to your school. It's everywhere, to your relationships too. How do you deal with them? You first become aware. I've seen this on my textbook, okay? I thought it was very cliche, like the first step to solve any problem is to become aware of it. The first step to become like mindful is to be aware that you are not mindful. The first step to fix your mental health is to be aware of it. Like, yeah, be aware of it. I always thought, yeah, like what the fuck kind of advice is this? But yo, you actually need to be aware of it. I got more into this spiritual side of thing, not so much spiritual side of thing, but more like spiritual self-improvement, and I've realized the importance of awareness, that if you look back in your life where you have improved drastically, maybe you have went from skinny to jacked, you would realize that it started with you being aware. Now I want you to imagine a life where you like really transform your life. You get huge again. You make more money. You get a status. You get a respect. Your relationship with your parents are better than ever. You get a girl who you really, really love and who supports you in your purpose that you're doing as a man, that fulfills you. Yo, isn't that so cool? When you're trying to make the transformation, you gotta realize like, yeah, these are my desires. Why am I not there just yet? Because generally those, if they are your genuine desires, you should be having them, right? But you are not because of some deficit. How do you find out? Become aware. How do you become aware? Start writing questions down. Start being the mad scientist who is in his table every single time, spending committed time on his table, journaling about how to improve his life, why he is at the way he is. Usually I just journal about like, why do I have this fear of, like, what do I say? Fear of rejection. Why do I have this specific fear of rejection? And specifically that surface layer question was, why don't I want to show my YouTube to my parents or my cousins or even like my school friends, schoolmates, the people. And then I came to this conclusion that it's just, I have this fear of rejection and it's all monkey brain. You know, I'm afraid that the people in my tribe who I really, really love will reject me if they find that my YouTube videos are weirder than how I actually am in a person. Whilst that's just all irrational. It's not like I'm very different in person too. I'm just like almost similar as I'm talking to you here. It's just my presentation with like some guys like you, my younger self type of guy. My presentation to you is so much different than my presentation to an adult who is at school because of like how the perspective is, but I'm still me. And even this difference in presentation in and of itself is like, that's me, that's authentic. And so like I had to figure out all of this through journaling, which is what I did right now. And that fear has been like bothering me since last year when I started this YouTube. I've always been afraid of showing it to my parents and telling my friends about it. But first of all, like, yeah, I don't have to tell it if they don't ask, because like I don't want to be the guy who's bragging about how many subscribers I have. Like, bro, I have 1.1 subscribers, bro. Like who asked, right? So okay, maybe say what is necessary, but still, even when it's necessary, not have the fear of saying it. So that's what I'm trying to talk about. This fear has been boggling me, and now I'm so liberated as I'm journaling about it. That thought has been blocking in my mind. It has been limiting, suppressing my potential the whole time. And now that I have journaled it, now that I have started with a question and answered why am I doing this? Why am I doing this bad thing that is stopping me, that is causing me harm? Now I feel liberated because I did so, and I want you to do the same. Write the question down. It doesn't have to be perfect. My handwriting is like not even perfect, okay? It's like I'm trying to write fast as I can so that everything in my mind can be recorded in a paper and not go away by mind wandering or something. I'm trying to write it as much as I can. It's a mindful practice too. Not many people do this. Imagine a young man such as you in your room, on your table, journaling about how to become a better man. How cool is that? Improve your life. And by the way, like, I'm just gonna link my video to how I succeeded on NoFap. Okay, improve your life one step at a time, always.